All right, I'm gonna say this in the most humble, modest way possible, but these are freaking gorgeous. I'll be honest, never smelled a fragrance with those three characteristics. It's potent. It's potent. I don't know what I'm smelling here. Combination is super weird. I have not made anything with these yet, and I can't wait to show you. All these vibrant colors for summer, just the whole array of colors. Let me just show you. Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be making some candles, test candles with the 8 new scents from CandleScience. So I'm going to randomly just grab one of, there's 8 of them total, and I'm just going to grab one at a time randomly just from the pile here. I have not made anything with these yet. And after I tell you, just kind of open them up and let you know what I think about them first. Beyond that, I'm going to make actually 8 test candles with them behind me. So I'll let you watch as we make those candles. We'll experiment with a few colors, see if we can come up with a good finished product here. I'm going to be talking about the products that I'm using while I'm doing them. They're all going to be very similar, minus the oils, of course. I want sort of a baseline. So we're going to be using the same wax for each one, which is the ProBlend 600 or Joy Wax or MB100. Basically, it's a pair of soy, mostly soy, melt point around 120 to 125 degrees. It's a wax type that's very popular. A lot of you use it. I use it a lot for especially testing purposes as well, just because it's a good wax across the board. We're going to be using that, and we're going to be using Premier 730 wicks in each one of these 9-ounce straight-sided jars, which are these guys right here. Great test candle jars as well. I use a lot of those jars anyways, but they're just a good average, kind of small to average size. So it just helps us evaluate the fragrances a little bit. So we're not necessarily trying to make perfect candles here. We're just trying to focus on evaluating the fragrances and let you know what I think. So thanks, CandleScience, for sending these to me. Let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to start with Ginger and Saffron Citronella. See if you can get a look at that. I do like saffron, so I think I'm going to enjoy this. Ginger, it just kind of depends. Yeah, actually, that's a really good combination. So I get a little bit of the saffron for sure, and again, I'm partial to that. I like Black Violet and Saffron is one of my favorite fragrances from CandleScience, actually. And a little bit of that, definitely some ginger. In fact, a lot of the names that I saw in some of these have some lemon to them, so ginger's no exception to that. It's a little bit more of a spicy. So it's a spicy saffron. I really enjoy this one. It's fresh. It smells like something that can be used kind of year long. It is summery. It is a little bit of sweet, a little bit of spice. Definitely could be used in different parts of the house. So it's also very aromatic, sort of bathy. I think this will be a good fragrance. So I do like that one a lot. All right, next one we've got is butterscotch and bourbon. This is an interesting, there's a lot of bourbon with sweet. So this is a pretty common type of combination, although I don't know that I've necessarily smelled a butterscotch and bourbon. So let's test it out. A little bit of that bourbon smell for sure, but I mostly get a lot of the sweetness from the butterscotch, which isn't bad if that's what you're going for. It's just more on the sweeter side than what I typically like, but I could still see this being very, very popular. Actually, the more I just kind of let it linger here, I do pick up more of the bourbon notes. So if you are looking for something a little more balanced, this might still do it for you, but it's certainly on the sweet side. However, some of those alcohol type notes will start to come through a little bit more as it's burning, and a lot of the times they can be too pungent in the bottle. So this might actually work in our favor, and so we'll know once we make some candles. It's got some uniqueness to it. I think it would be probably a pretty popular one actually. Lemon, blueberry, crumble. All right, I like lemon. I like blueberry. Not so much a sweet crumble fan, but this is probably going to smell like a lemon blueberry muffin. I don't know. Actually, it smells like a lemon poppy seed muffin. There's a little blueberry there. Maybe a lemon ricotta. How about a blueberry lemon ricotta pancake from IHOP? That's what it smells like. Yeah, not too bad. I love lemon, but again, I'm not a huge foodsy person. I mean, I like to eat, but as far as bakery scents when it comes to a candle, they're not my favorite for sure. But if you're looking for something with some lemon, it's also sweet, blueberry. So I do have a blueberry of, what's it called? A blueberry pumpkin patch fragrance, which is pretty good. It's not super strong, but it's pretty good. I think I might like this one a little bit better though, probably because of the lemon. So yeah, the color, I'm not sure I don't know if I'm gonna go with a lemon or blue on that one, or a purplish blue, like blueberry. Anyways, we'll figure that out when we get to it. Next up, Paloma. All right, this is pretty good, but it does smell very similar to a lot of their other fragrances. I'm trying to think of which ones it reminds me of now that I say that. I make a comment like that, then I can't even tell you exactly which ones it reminds me of. I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it when I'm actually making the candles and I'll come up with a better explanation for you. But it is good. It's definitely not bad at all. It's just not overly unique to me. Which again, once you start making so many candles and so many fragrances, not every fragrance is going to be unique necessarily. Like a lot of them are very similar. So it's about finding ones you like and then testing them to find out which ones throw the best, wick the best, just make the overall best candle. And that's so you get to those little nuances and those fine details about the fragrance. It's definitely summery. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to like this. I just wish I could remember which ones it reminds me of, but stay tuned. Hopefully it comes back to me. All right, then we've got lemongrass and lime. So I told you, we've got a lot of lemongrass ones, or a lot of lemon type fragrances. I am a fan of lemon and lemongrass. I've always just kind of been drawn to that. I really like freaking lime too. So my favorite dessert, if you don't know this about me, is key lime pie. And every time I'm out traveling somewhere, so if you guys have been following the channel, you know I do all these road trips, right, around the country, and I get key lime pie everywhere I go if I've never been there before, at every restaurant. So I like to kind of compare. I should start a channel about me comparing key lime pie around the country on road trips. It'd be kind of fun. Anyways, so I love key lime pie, but I like lime in general. So I imagine I'm gonna like this. That was a really long-winded way of me telling you I'm probably gonna like this one. I do like it. I wish the lime was stronger than the lemongrass though. I'm mostly getting lemongrass and almost a little earthy too, or a little floral. This is one where I think a lot of people, I'm detecting a little bit of like a bath soap fragrance a little bit with the lemongrass, and then a touch of lime. I would have preferred a lot more lime. I don't know of a lot of lime fragrances, which is disappointing now that I say that. If I start selling fragrances, I'm making a lime one. But this is pretty good. I was hoping for more with this one, but again, it might smell entirely differently when it's burning in a candle. But so far, I would say this is I don't know, like a 7 out of 10 for me, because I do like these type of notes. I just do wish it was a little stronger than lime. I like lime though, it's personal preference. All right, citrus sunshine. There are so many citrus and sun type fragrances out there, like beach scents and stuff, so I don't know what to think. Well, I guess we'll just find out. Yeah, it's citrusy, orangey, tangerine-y, a little bit of a fresh beach fragrance, Hawaiian, tropical. A lot of fragrances like this. I will say I do like this one better than a lot of them though, because I like orange a lot, and I'm having a hard time talking right now because it's potent. But I really like oranges, especially mandarin oranges, and there's a little bit more of that in this than a lot of the other ones. So now that I've kind of talked myself into it, I might prefer this over a lot of the other citrusy and summery fragrances. So I might give this one a shot. I might be surprised by this one. So yeah, I'll give that one a good thumbs up too. Oh look, another lemongrass. This one is lemongrass and verbena, and I forgot to show you the other ones in the camera. My bad. Oh wait, sorry, this is lemongrass and verbena citronella. So we've got a citronella here. We got another citronella coming up. So obviously this time of year, summer, some citronella type fragrances are gonna be pretty popular. Now you might have, citronella is sort of polarizing. It's kind of a love-hate. You either like that fragrance a lot or you don't like it at all and you just use it to keep bugs away. Let's just, that's enough talking. Yeah, too much citronella for me. I'm not a huge fan. Here's the thing. All right, so they have another like lemon verbena type fragrance at CandleScience, or at least they used to. I don't know if they do anymore. And it was pretty good. But the citronella definitely makes this more unique. It definitely makes this one separate and distinct from the other one. But citronella is pretty potent, and it's got a very distinct aroma and scent to it. So you're either gonna like this one a lot or you're probably not. I don't know that there's a lot of middle ground on this one, but I'm still anxious to test it and see what it comes up with. Pear, thyme, citronella. I'll be honest, never smelled a fragrance with those 3 characteristics in the name. So I'm eager to try this one out. It's potent. It's potent. Be careful. If you haven't tried this yet and you open the bottle, be careful. Approach cautiously. It's not like the chamomile tea a few months back, but this is strong. So I like pear fragrances, and I've had some successful, like brandied pear. I was a big favorite of mine. It did change in the last few years, but I did like that fragrance a lot. I don't know what I'm smelling here. The pear citronella combination is super weird, but I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. It's very unique, very unique. So you want something totally different, and you're gonna have customers asking, what the heck is that? That'd be this one. So the more I smell it, the more it's growing on me. We'll see. I think this is gonna be pretty polarizing though, to a lot of people. All right, well, let's go ahead and make a candle with it. I have no idea what color to use, so we'll figure it out. All right, so I'm gonna start off just by putting on my gloves before we get too messy here. I'm gonna get out 8 of the 730 Premier wicks. We're going to add a wick tab to each one, but before I'm showing you the wick setter that we're going to be using from Norden Candle Supply. I've talked about it a lot on the channel. They're fantastic. And we'll talk a little bit more about those just in a minute, but just putting on these standard wick stickers to the bottom of each one of these wicks. And then we're going to be placing the wicks, again, we're using the same Premier 730 wick in each one of these candles for this test purpose. We're going to load this candle wick setter up, and then it fits perfectly in each jar. And you can get them for different jars. You can get them in different colors. Again, I've talked about them a lot on this channel. Norden Candle Supply is even a sponsor of this channel. I use them for all of my candles. They are fantastic. All the color options, all the size options. They can do single wick, double wick, triple wick, custom ones. And then you just go to the website and you basically just tell them in the website what jar you're using or what company you're buying your jars from, how many wicks you want, and they make them on demand for you. So fantastic products. They do an excellent job. Centers the wick perfectly. And again, I just like the fact that it comes in so many colors too. And then there's actually matching wick clips that hold them on place on top of the jars as the candles cool. But you'll see those later. I'm just getting out some wax here. Now we're going to be starting with the Lemon Blueberry Crumble fragrance, and we're going to be using 3 drops of blue from CandleScience and 1 drop of purple to get the color that we're after. Also, I am using 6.5 ounces of wax per candle and 0.6 ounces of fragrance oil, which is equivalent to a 9% fragrance load, and that's what we're adding right here. So you saw me go ahead and add the wax and weigh that first. Then I put in the dye, showing you a little bit of what that looks like, and then we're going to weigh it on the or on the scale. And then we're going to stir for a bit and then pour our finished candles. Now we're going to go through this pretty quickly so that I'm not wasting your time too much here. But I just want to get to showing you how I'm making each one of these, and we're going to take a look at the final product at the end. These are those wick clips I was talking about using from Norden Candle Supply as well. Also come in any color you want, and you can even have them customized for you, personalized with your brand. Now we're working on the Pear Thyme Citronella, and you can see here I added 3 lime green, 3 orange, and that's the color we came up with. I'm just experimenting with colors here. Adding our fragrance oil. I'll show you a little bit of what this color came out to look like, sort of a toned down oak mossy muted green. I think it's a pretty good color. There's so many directions you go with some of these scents, but again, just experimenting. That's my favorite part about testing, is testing not just the fragrance, but also the color, if you want to use color, which you don't have to use. Next up is the ginger and saffron. I was debating between burgundy and red. I ended up going with the burgundy. I want this more of a darker color. So I went with 3 drops of burgundy, and then I added 3 drops of orange to kind of help bring it all together. And I think this color actually ended up being fantastic. You'll see it a little bit better at the end of the video. Then we're going to add our 6.6 ounces or 9% fragrance load of ginger and saffron. Citronella. Again, it's another citronella. Show you a little bit of this color here, and then we're going to pour this candle. And again, I just really like this color. I just think it came out perfectly. And then again, these custom wick setters are going to place right on top. They're going to hold the wick perfectly centered. Again, they fit the jar perfectly as it cools. Next is lemongrass and verbena citronella. For this one, we're using 4 drops of yellow and 1 lime green. I wanted this one mostly yellow with a little bit of green, just a touch. Kind of trying to get that lemongrass look, but also some citronella. We're going to add our 0.6 ounces of fragrance oil here, or 9% fragrance load once again. Stir it, give you a little peek here, and then get this thing poured. So pretty much the color I was going for here. Maybe a little more lemon for this one I could have done. Actually, yeah, definitely some more yellow, not lemon. Next up is bourbon and butterscotch. And I went with 2 brown and 2 orange for this one. Really going for that bourbon look, but a little bit of a caramelized look as well, so that butterscotch effect. And again, this also turned out to be a great color, I thought. And then next up, we're going to be doing the lemongrass and lime. Now this one coming up, I really wanted mostly just green. I wanted that lime color. Really, I was just hoping to get some variety in colors here. So there's a lot of variation that you could have done with a lot of these colors. But I like this bright green. I thought this turned out pretty good. Once again, we're adding our fragrance oil. We're going to pour our candle. We're going to put on our wick clip, make sure our wick stays center, and move on to citrus and sunshine. Citrus and sunshine, obviously wanted mostly of a yellow, so I went with, what'd I go with? 4 yellow and 2 orange. By the way, the lemongrass and lime, I went with 6 lime green to get that color. The citrus and orange, or citrus and sunshine, I really wanted mostly a kind of a tropical sunshine citrus color, so sort of a tangerine-ish color, or tang, and I think this one turned out great. This last one here is Paloma, and that is sort of a grapefruit fragrance. So we're going with 2 magenta and 1 red. Magenta can be a weird color. Actually, all the reds can be, so you just gotta experiment till you get some experience and figure out what you like. But I thought this one actually turned out really, really well as well. Sort of that pinkish, grapefruity color. And we'll get a much better look here once they've cooled. And again, we're going to see final product here very soon. But I wanted to show you a little bit of the process of making these samplers or these testers, and a little bit of behind the scenes of how I do them. If you want to see a lot more in-depth information on how I make these, check out some of the other videos. All right, I'm going to say this in the most humble, modest way possible, but these are freaking gorgeous, and I can't wait to show you. All these vibrant colors for summer, just the whole array of colors. Let me just show you. Check these guys out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to trim them, and then we'll take a closer look, but they are awesome. All right, let's just get these trimmed real quick. Or butterscotch bourbon, I think is what it was called. This is our Paloma, I believe. See it very well. Beautiful. Citrus sunshine, mostly yellow with a touch of orange, kind of a dandelion color. Lemongrass and lime, I believe. It's the most greenish of them because I wanted that lime to really, just wanted a different color green more than anything. I believe this one is the pear thyme citronella. So kind of a muted-ish oak mossy color green. I was experimenting. The ginger and saffron, so definitely went more of a saffron-y color. Could have went really many directions with this, but turned out gorgeous. Here is our lemongrass verbena citronella. It's a citronella as well. Last but not least is the lemon blueberry crumble. All right, so let me know what you think, how these turned out. I think they turned out great. I still got to burn them and test them, obviously, but yeah, no complaints at all. I really like this selection of fragrances. I thought it was really cool to have a different array, a variety of citronella specifically, just a few versions, a few variations of that. I thought that was a kind of a nice touch. I like the choice of these fragrances as well, because as you can see, we get this amazing color palette for each fragrance. So releasing a line like this where you can have all these different colors that are covered, I think is awesome. So anyways, I really enjoyed this one. I thought this was a fun one to do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you've tried any of these, let me know your favorite one. And yeah, check out this next video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.